Hey everyone, what is going on, and welcome back to today's video. In today's video, we're going to be diving into another guide because it is Sunday. This is going to be our 20th operator guide that I've made so far on the channel. I have no idea how many operators there are in numbers, but there's still a few to go, but we are 20 down at this episode. So in today's episode, as you guys can see from the title, we are diving into Twitch. But before we get into the Twitch guide, we have to get into who we're going to be doing next week. So we are back with the voting system again that I have been doing previously. So next week's potential operators are going to be Capital, Mute, and Legion. In the top right corner, right about now, there's going to be a card that's going to come up, and you just click on that and you place down your vote for who you want in the next episode. And with that out of the way, without further ado, I think it's time we jumped into the Twitch guide. So as always, we're going to start with the weapon review, then we're going to move on to the gadget utilization, and we're going to finish off with the operator strategies. So without further ado, let's jump into the weapon review. Twitch has access to a very strong loadout, and she is one of the first operators to be introduced to the game with a hard-hitting AR. She has access to the F2 assault rifle, which does 37 damage at 980 rounds per minute, and is arguably one of the strongest guns in the game, but the thing that makes it a little bit difficult to control is its recoil. Its recoil is definitely strong. They did have nerfed it a lot from what it used to be. It used to be a lot easier than what it is now, but it's definitely still controllable if you are willing to put the time into practice. If you go up to a wall and shoot If you go up to a wall and shoot the F2 just normally, the recoil actually isn't that hard. It kind of drifts to the right, and then it slowly gets a little bit stronger to the right as you shoot more bullets. So really those first few bullets are pretty easy to control, but the difficult part is the end bit when it starts to get stronger, and sometimes you have to flick your reaction to set up for that, and that can be a little bit difficult. A majority of the time you'll find that in your gunfights, if you do not hit the first shots, you're going to be spraying, and then you're going to lose your recoil out with Twitch, which is why people find it difficult to use her gun. But you just have to think about it in a way of practice. You go into some terrorist hunt, and you just shoot at a wall until you feel confident that your recoil is good, the whole magazine, and then eventually you'll be good. You'll be able to jump into a ranked game and control that recoil the exact same way. This is the best way to practice the F2 recoil, and the reason I'm going over this is because I know it's not the easiest gun to control, so I think this definitely needs to be outlined, because in most people's eyes, the F2 is very difficult to use. When you think about it, it's not that hard, it just takes a little bit of practice. But it's no different with any other gun. Now, diving into her second primary, it is the 417 marksman rifle, dealing 69 damage on a trigger finger fire rate because it is a DMR. Now, I would definitely recommend bringing the F2 over both of her other primaries in a competitive situation, but the DMR is definitely the second best in terms of competitive play. It's still a solid weapon, it's just, there's no point really bringing a DMR because they can stitch you up, especially if you don't have that trigger finger necessary to run guns like that and pistols. It is just much easier to use the F2 in my opinion. I definitely recommend that you use the F2 in her loadout. And her final primary is the SG-CQB shotgun, which does 53 damage a shot. It is a slow shooting shotgun, it's not semi-automatic. It has a little pump back that kind of wastes time. It's not the best shotgun, but it is very damaging. 53 damage close up, it one taps pretty solid range. 53 damage is probably a solid distance away. It's a very strong shotgun. Most people agree that it is a very strong shotgun. It's just, shotguns when you're attacking aren't really the use in my opinion. I feel like when you are attacking, you play a lot more of a range game than you would as say a defender, because they have to come to you, and an attacker you have to go to them. So I'd recommend playing either of the ranged weapons, and out of those ranged weapons, bring the F2. And diving into her secondary, she has access to the P9 and the LFP 586, which is otherwise known as the Magnum or the revolver. The revolver does 78 damage a shot, being the much more hard-hitting weapon in her arsenal, but the P9 has a semi-automatic fire rate that's much easier to control, because the LFP, when you shoot it, it kind of flicks up really a lot, and you can't spray it. Well, you can spray it, but it's not as easy to spray. And in my opinion, I just think the P9 is better for more just controlled accuracy, especially when you need to finish off those kills. The LFP is still a great weapon though in my opinion. It's very fun to use for one taps just like the D50, but it's just more of a fun weapon in my opinion. I think most people will bring the P9, but if I'm wrong, feel free to correct me in the comment section down below. Both of them bring good utility to the team. One is more damaging, one is more just easy to control. So depending on the way you want to play, depending on if you want to play pistol damage, obviously you want to use your primary over your pistol in competitive situations, or you're trolling. But it depends if you want like more secure rapid fire or if you want damage. And jumping into her gadget, she has access to a claymore and a breach charge, and as I say in majority of the gadget overviews for this, it's just on what you want to use really. Claymores can help you counter flanks if you're choosing to repel, or you need a claymore to play on a run out in case you are pushing somewhere that is versatile to that, or you can just bring a breach charge because that will help you get soft walls open. So it's really just up to you on these. They're both very useful gadgets, so there's nothing wrong with bringing either. It's just up to you and what situation you're in. Now diving into her gadget utilization. Now using her gadget, I'm probably not going to talk about this for very long because it is very straightforward. She has access to the shock drone, which is a drone that cannot jump but has access to electricity that recharges very slowly, that you have 3 instantly, I'm pretty sure you spawn in with, and you slowly use them all and they will recharge over time. You can use these to destroy gadgets. You used to be able to use them to kill people, but the Twitch drone has been nerfed a lot since it came out. It used to have 15 shocks and they would do 10 damage a shot for people who didn't know that. But now it does 1 damage a shot and you only have 3 and it's rechargeable. So it's definitely not as strong as it used to be, but it is still very useful, especially if Thatcher is banned, because he does get banned a lot. Twitch is like your second best anti-gadget person that you can bring to the team that will help you get rid of bandits, Cades, Jaegers, all that. And this is the best way to utilize her drone, so if I'm going to teach you anything, it's going to be, if you are Twitch, there's 0 point in shocking the enemy anymore because it only does 1 damage. I'm sure most of you guys are aware of this. Use it as an anti-gadget and do not waste your first drone. This is the best tip I'm going to try and give you guys in terms of utilizing your gadget. That first drone you spawn in with, when you're Twitch, you do not want to waste it. Especially, you don't want to waste any of your drones, but especially when you're Twitch, you don't want to waste that drone, because if it gets destroyed before you do anything with it, it's a waste of utilization, which I pointed out in my last video saying, if you pick an operator and you don't use their gadget, it's a waste of a pick. So you need to think about these things and try not... Obviously, you still have another drone, but try to secure both your drones and make use out of both of them, especially before one gets destroyed. But that's about all I have to say in terms of gadget utilization. I can't really tell you how to use the drone like a god. Droning is droning. I'm sure most people can get that down within early stages of the game. Droning is not too difficult. But the main tip I can give you guys that some people, the lower ranks, don't really remember is save your drones from that you spawn in with, because they'll come in clutch later if your other one gets destroyed. And finally, finishing up with the operator strategies. I believe Twitch is she's more of I feel like she's more on the fragging side of the operator, but she's definitely more helpful for support as well. She is not completely left out of support due to the fact she can play anti-gadget, which will help your team out in getting rid of gadgets so you can hard breach. Getting rid of gadgets is a support operator, and this is basically what Twitch's ability does. So that does kind of make her a support operator, but I feel like it's not as strong as a support operator as other people like, say, Thermite, Thatcher, Nomad can be. I feel like Twitch is definitely... I feel like she falls into the flex range, if I'm going to be completely honest, which means she is support and a fragger. She has access to a great weapon, and if you can control the F2, it is one of the best weapons you can bring on attack. It's a very strong weapon. The only thing that stops people from using it is its recoil. But as I said before, a little bit of practice in TerraSun and you'll honestly get this down pat. There's probably a guide on YouTube on how to control the F2's recoil. Just look that up maybe, and you might find something that will help you out. But yeah, Twitch all in all is a great both playing operators. If you want to play support, you have to... It's kind of just like you play support first and then you frag. I'd say that's the best way to play her. You want to use your gadgets. You want to get rid of the stuff that you need to get rid of. And if there's nothing else to get rid of, then you can utilize your drones for yourself to drone yourself in and get some kills. Use that F2, use that power that you have access to, and just mow through the enemy team. That's basically all there is to it, really. Twitch is a very powerful operator if you can use it right. I know I'm saying this a lot, but I'm just trying to reinforce it. There is a lot of potential into using Twitch. You just have to kind of master it. And hopefully that's what this video is going to teach you guys. But yeah, if you're going to get anything, I feel like if I'm going to give you anything in terms of operator strategies, it would be to play her as a support operator first, and then once the support role is over, or if you have a Thatcher alternative and you're just playing Twitch as a fragger, go ahead. Her gun's powerful, you can definitely pull off a fragging capability with Twitch. Obviously there's better fraggers than Twitch like Zofia and Ash, but Twitch still has a great gun, and if you prefer her gun over other people's, you feel like you've got it down pat, use Twitch. But just don't forget to play the role that you have to bring to the team as a Twitch before you start killing people and rushing people. That's the one thing you need to think about with all operators, is don't forget what your role in the team is before you start rushing around killing everyone. And honestly, that's about all I have to say. I hope this guide helped you guys get better with Twitch. I'm not really sure how I could give you the best description of how to be a god with a Twitch drone, but I tried to give you my best. I tried to tell you how to play. I tried to tell you like how to utilize it properly, and hopefully you guys learned something from that. If you did make it to the end of the video, consider liking and subscribing because that would really support my channel. We are getting very close to 10,000 subs, so dropping a sub would really support me, and dropping a like would really support this video so more people can see it. And if you do want to check out my Twitch channel, the link is down in the description below. I do stream there every day except Saturday. I'm always streaming, it's always a good time. We have a lot more people coming out to the streams these days. I'd love to see you guys there. But other than that, I hope you guys enjoyed, and good luck with Twitch, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.